Welcome back, everyone. I hope I'm visible and audible, all of you. So we had started the journey of Spring Data JPA and CRUD repository, paging and sorting repository is what we have completed. Now it's time to explore JPA repository. All right. So these two interfaces we have explored. In the process, I hope everyone in the class understood the theme on which Spring Data JPA working on. You got the clarity that this is one of the most important module. So today, tomorrow, we need to understand more on this. If time permits, day after tomorrow, I might start Spring MongoDB part. Okay. And if you have time, as I have discussed earlier also, please do watch some fundamental videos of MongoDB of your own choice from any of the resources. Okay. Some at least basic half an hour video, 30 minutes video of MongoDB from anywhere you want. Right. So now let's continue the journey of using Spring Data JP and understand few more important parts of it. I would like to close what we have discussed already. All right, so let me just close this. It's done. I would like to keep the same project just to keep the skeleton same. I'll not be keeping everything same. I would like to take this, go here, recreate this project. I'll give it as Spring Data JPA 4. So the project is getting ready. The project is getting ready. All right. I would like to keep this application dot properties. One more we might have to add here. Okay. Property, which our Eclipse only will suggest. After which I'll go here. Entity is going to be same. No difference in this. I'm just keeping the skeleton same. Okay. Whatever we have here, I would like to erase this because whatever we have discussed already, there is no point of writing that code again and again. All right. So I'll go back to my repository and my service layer. Now I would like to just remove this part because I want to perform different operations on this. All right. From the Spring Boot 3, paging and sorting repository, do we have any other method other than just two methods? Do we have any other thing in the Spring paging and sorting? The answer must be all right. So yeah, great. So this is the basic skeleton, guys. We have a service layer and we have not yet written the actual business logic of the application. Okay. Let me just save this. I'll go back here. I would like to save this. Problem solved. I'll go back here. I will save this. We might have some imports which we are not using. Could be the reason for the error. Yeah, error is also gone. Right now, which repository are we exploring, guys? It is none other than paging and sorting repository. Sorry, the JPA repository. JPA repository. I would like to import it. Import it. Now let's understand what is the hierarchy of JPA. I would like to open this JPA repository. Guys, it is extending which interfaces? List CRUD interfaces, list paging and sorting repositories. That means, can I say that JPA repository has all the methods of CRUD repository as well as paging and sorting repository? Everyone in the class? And if you have focused the actual CRUD repository and paging and sorting repository, the return types was not list. The return type was iterable. That means you can collect the data in any of the collection class and you can send because iterable is a parent of entire collection hierarchy in core Java, right? Is what you have understood. Now list CRUD, they are the sub child interfaces of CRUD interface. They are the child interface of paging and sorting interface. If I have to open this, right click, open the declaration, you can see it is extending CRUD. That means it has all the methods of CRUD repository with minimal changes. Return type, they have made it to list, right? And same goes with the list paging and sorting. All the methods of paging and sorting only, with one difference that they have converted to see list. The return types have converted to sit. Returns all entities sorted by given options. They have just converted to list. Yes. And also please focus here. Do we have find all method with pagination in the list paging and sorting repository? We have only one without pagination. Done. I would like to close this. I would like to close this. Now, if I have to open this, I have saved this. It's done. Now I need to perform a few of the, operations. What operations I want to perform with this? I would like to define in my business logic, in my service layer, that with this application, what and all I want to perform. All right. Everyone, yes, no, maybe. I'll go back here, guys. Any method I will take here, I will just say repository dot, just to show you the methods before I explore. Count long, it is coming from which interface, guys? Correct. Do I need to discuss that once again? Do I need to use it? Most of them are coming from CRUD, list CRUD. Let's explore few of them which are only from the JPA. Save method we have, save and flush, both of them are same. There is no difference there. Okay. After which it is coming from the object get reference by ID, JPA. Earlier we had, whenever you want to fetch something by ID in the JPA repository, we had a method called as get one. If you want to get one, record from the table, but that get one is, you can see, strike. It is, deprecated. There is no more security updates. There is no more responsibility which the Spring team will take if you use this. We have get reference by ID whenever you want to search something. So I'll go back here, which is very new, which was not there in, with respect to CRUD and the paging and sorting. I'll go back here. I will say here public vaccine. I will say here search vaccine by ID. I'll pass here integer type of ID. I would like to save this. I'll go back here, go here, add the unimplemented method. And if you want to search something, the answer is very simple, repository dot. I will say here, if I have to go, we have all the find all methods. First of all, find by ID is also there here, but that is also coming from CRUD. That means whatever we have already seen in the last example, it is going to be same. There is no point of me writing that again, because it is coming from the same family. The functionality is same. The return type is same. Whichever is from only JPA, no, that we will see here. See, paging and sorting, no point of discussing. Coming from list paging and sorting, no point of discussing. So whatever is there only from the list CRUD, no, we will see only that part. Okay. I'll go back here and say get by ID. It is deprecated. Get one. It is deprecated. We have get reference by ID. I'll pass the ID here. I would like to keep what is the return type. Let's check once again. I'll say dot get reference. It is giving you direct vaccine object. It is giving you direct vaccine object. So directly I can say here repository dot get reference by ID. I'll pass the ID. I will save it. I'll go back to my main method class and I will just say here, maybe directly, I'll say here service dot search vaccine by ID. I might give the ID. I'm not sure what ID records we have in our data. Okay. CRUD. All right. I'll go back here, search by vaccine ID. I have to pass the IDs. What records do we have in our table? I'm not sure. I'll go back and check in my application only by running the application, because I could not able to recall what we have there. Okay. Let's get that. Available records is fine. I want to search how many vaccines are there. Okay. By adding the IDs, no, that's not the case. I will get everything. I'll go back and run this application because to know how many records are there, for that also I'm running the application which we have developed. Guys, we have these many records in our table: 52, 53, 54, and 102. Then again 150s. Okay. I'll go back here to my previous application. I mean the current application. I will just pass here 54. I will just pass here 54. And it is giving me a vaccine object. If you want directly, you can print. I would like to collect it here by telling vaccine. And since we have overridden the toString method, I can directly print. Of course, I'll get this and it is default. Run as Java application. You can see here. Oops. We are getting some exceptions here. Are you seeing, guys, lazy initialization? At the beginning of class, I had told you that I had to add one more property in the application.properties, which ID only will suggest me. Hibernate lazy initialization. How many of you have watched the Hibernate? In the Hibernate, I have explained you something called as eager initialization and lazy initialization. Yeah. Could not initialize the proxy class, for which you just have to attach one property there. You just have to attach one property. Let me get this property. I had some file where I had kept this. Let me open that. If not, I can just ask the Google uncle. No, application context is, this is not application context part, Saiji. It is not the Spring Data JPA problem or Spring Core problem. It is not Spring Core. It is Hibernate, which is being used by, this thing. I'll go back to application.properties. I will add this one. Okay. Spring.jpa.properties.hibernate enable lazy loading, no transaction is true. If you add this, the problem will be resolved. I'll go back to my application. I'll say right click, run as Java Spring Boot application, and you can see you will be getting the ID. All right, guys, have you focused that in our CRUD repository part, whenever we have performed the searching operation based on the ID, it used to give inside a container, and then we used to check if there is an object really present or not. And when we perform the searching operation, and when we gave the wrong ID to there to check if there is a data present or not, did we get an exception or application runs smoothly and we got a message that there is no data with the record? Did we got any exception or application was fine even if we have given the wrong ID which is not there in the record? What was the case in case of CRUD repository, if you could able to recall? Was there any exception present? Are you all there, guys? Everyone? No exception, right? Right now, if I give the ID here, I got the record. I'll give the ID which is not there, example 64. I'll go back here, right click, run as Spring Boot application. Guys, are we getting the exception? Unable to find, entity not found. Now, have you realized the importance of having an optional? Yes, everyone? Yeah. So far, so good. I'll go back here and I will perform the searching operation here. Tell me, guys, in case of JPA repository, the return types, if you are searching a bulk data, the return type is iterable or list. It is list. It is fixed. In case of JPA repository, I'm talking Shiba and TR. I have opened the entire. It is list. For JPA, it is always list. Everyone in the class, are you there? Yes, no, maybe. Now, I want you to observe here, guys. I'll go back here. Please kindly see here. I'll say repo dot find. If I say we have find all, which is coming from the CRUD repository, there is no point of discussing. It is there from the JPA. Find all, wherein you have to pass the example object. It is coming from the paging and sorting. Ignore that. It is coming from the paging and sorting. Ignore that. And query by example. In future, if there is a need, I'll discuss on this separately. Find all, example object and sort object, it is expecting you to pass. Actually, find all, there are only two methods which are from the family of JPA. Rest of the methods are coming from the different interfaces. Only two methods are there which are owned by JPA itself, which are unique to JPA repository. One is find all, wherein you have to pass the example object. One more is find all, example object, and the sort object. How to create a sort object, everyone knows, right? All of you? Yes, no? And one more is example. Both of them, it is expecting you to pass the example object. So discussing this will not be any major changes. I would like to discuss this. Find all, example, and sort. Because let's discuss both the things here. I'll go back here. I will say here, search vaccine by given info. Number one, I will give the vaccine object information itself. I'll say vaccine object. Number two, for the sorting object, you know very well what and all is needed. We need whether it is an ascending or descending, and also based on what the sorting has to happen. Those parameters my end user can pass. I will say all these parameters, let it pass. The var args. All right. Why these two parameters extra I'm expecting? Because I want to create a sort object. If you want to create a sort object, this information is needed. I'll go back and implement this method. Add the unimplemented methods and let me implement. I'll go back here. First of all, guys, in order to create this sort object, you know very well, I have to use the method sort dot. We have a method by. I'll go back. I'll specify the directions. Directions are based on the status, what my end user is giving me. I will check if it is a true or false. If it is a true, I will make it direction dot ascending order. If it is false, I'll make it direction dot descending order, which as a developer you can decide. And the properties, the parameters which my user is entering, based on what the sorting has to happen. It will create one sort object. I'll keep it ready. It will create one sort object. I'll keep it ready. The sort object is ready. After which I will create now the example object. How we have optional, right? Optional is a container for an object which is receiving from the database. Example is also like a container where you can keep the object. So it is expecting you to pass the object, vaccine object, for which you are performing the search. Right? See, writing this part, is it compulsory, guys, or one of the options we have, which we have seen in the last class? It is same as in the last class. Even if I don't write this, will it create any problem, guys? What we have seen in the last class? Yes, no, maybe. How to create sort object and pass it is same. No change in that. Now, how to create sort object and all we have seen. Let's see only on this part, because double I know wanted to focus, especially if someone is there in the class who are not part of the yesterday's class. They should not feel something very heavy here. Let me focus only on this part. Like optional is like a container which will have an object which is coming from the records. which is very handy to avoid especially the null pointer exception, which we have seen in the last class. Today there is something called as example. If I say here repository dot find all the methods are there, only two methods are owned by JPA. This is one method and one more is this. One is expecting example plus sort. How to pass sort, just now we created the sort object, we have seen in the last class. One more, you have to pass an example object, it seems. Only two methods owned by JPA. What is that example? You have to create, that means you have to add the vaccine object inside an example container and then you have to pass it. How to create? Very simple. I will say here example, like the way we have created the pageable object, sort object. Similarly, example object dot off. Just you have to pass the object which you want. I will pass this object. Finish. I'll just pass this object. And the example object is ready. I will say here example object. Done. And I have to pass it. That is one of the requirement. Finish. Matrix close. You can pass any type here. It is T. If I have to again recreate it, let me go here and save this. Or it is because of the return. Null for now. Okay. Now, my dear friends, again I want to see here. I will say example dot of T. Are you able to see here, guys? Yes, no, maybe. That means, can you provide any type of object there? Any type. It could need not to be this only. To perform the searching operations, I would like to add it. Now I'll say here repository dot find all. It is giving you a list of whatever type you are passing here. So example is what I have passed. It is returning you the list which is of whatever type. We are dealing with vaccine type. So I will just say here return. All this we are discussing right now. And we will use it in our upcoming applications also. When we are using going forward, you should not act like you don't even know about any of these methods. That's it. But the theme of working, all of them are same. I'll go back here and we have seen this already. There is no point. I would like to create one vaccine object. I will say vaccine type, vaccine equals to new vaccine, and I will create the entire vaccine object. I will say here vaccine dot set ID. I'm going to pass here 54. And the remaining parameters, what we have in our records already. I'll go back to my application number 2. I'm not sure if all the records which we have, right click, run as Java Spring Boot application. All right. So we have Covaxin as the parameter. So let me set the vaccine object and check if it is there or not. I'm searching based on this. But why are we doing? We can do with the ID also. Yes, we have multiple options and some of the options we have already explored. It's not just restricted to this. We can customize even more, which we will see in our today's and tomorrow's class. How well you can customize it. That is not the case here. Okay. I am just exploring whatever available options which we have here. That's it. I'll pass the vaccine. It will give you one more vaccine which is coming from the record. This is coming from the record, which I will take it here. Or maybe it is giving you as a list. I would like to directly print it. I will say dot for each. I would like to go here and print this. I'll say here, right click, run as Java Spring Boot application. It will give you the object. It is giving you an object. See, we are getting. Fine. All of you. And also, guys, please listen, observe the query which is getting generated by Hibernate. It is searching for all of this. Where clause is used for name also, ID also, vaccine company also, cost also. So if any one parameter is also wrong, will it perform the searching properly? Will it give you the desired result based on the query C which is getting generated? Entire object has to be same. Okay. This is one of the option. And while searching, we have multiple options. Custom finder methods we have, dynamic and static projections today I'll discuss, and custom query. You will get to know even more the real power of Spring Data JPA. But to start with, there was one method available we had to discuss. I have discussed it. Fine now, all of you. Remaining methods are same for the searching. I need not to focus much on this. I would like to go for the delete methods because there is a difference of delete, and those methods in interview also they might ask. Because the other methods, if I say repo dot whatever is coming from the CRUD and paging and sorting repository, there is no point of discussing that. Okay. I'll go back here. We have something called as delete methods. Coming to the delete methods, guys, delete methods coming from the CRUD repository, CRUD repository, CRUD repository, CRUD repository. 4 of them, delete by ID is also coming from the CRUD repository. 5 of them are coming from CRUD repository, and we have seen 2 or 3 methodologies in the CRUD repository. There is no point of discussing the same here. Whatever we have discussed in the last class, is there any point of writing the same method once again and talking? No point. But there are methods coming from the JPA family. JPA family method, guys, are you able to see here? Delete all by ID in batch. Delete all in batch. Delete all in batch. Are you also see here? Delete all in batch is also one more is there where it is deprecated. There is no point of discussing. So there are 3 methods originally. All of them are in batch, in batch, in batch. Batch processing in the Hibernate or in the JDBC. I told you about it. At a time once. Now, what is the difference is what we need to understand here, right, everyone? So I would like to discuss first maybe this, the first one. Delete all in batch by passing multiple IDs, like the way we have already seen it. I'll go back here and define what I want to do here. I will say here, public. And the return type there also, guys. Kindly see here. Report dot, when it comes to delete, even the JPA family, the return type is void. Will you get to know whether the data is deleted or not if the return type is void? So as a developer, your logical skills, thinking skills comes into picture here. You have to take care of it. I will specify string. Whatever you want, you can give here. I'll specify it as string. I will say remove vaccine information by IDs. Multiple IDs I will pass here. Okay. Multiple IDs, I'll go here and say iterable type, integer type of IDs, and I would like to give here as IDs. Save it. Done. I'll go back here and I would like to import this, add the unimplemented methods. Fine. I'll go back here. Of course, let me just reduce the size here. I will just say here repository dot delete. This is CRUD, no point. I would like to discuss from the family of JPA. I will pass it. What is the return type, guys? What is the return type? Void. Will you get to know whether the data is deleted or not? No. I have to play the gimmick here. So all the methods of CRUD are also there here. I will say repo dot repository dot find all. Find all. I will pass this IDs. This is from the family of CRUD only. I'm using this. It will give you find all by IDs. It will give you, I'll say here list, all the vaccines which might be there. We do have it, some vaccines here. Fine. Now I will check. Please see very carefully, every one of you. I will say whatever logic I had already developed in the last applications, and now what is the difference you have to observe. I will say list dot size. If it is not equal to 0 is what I have told. If it is not equal to 0, I have developed this in 2-3 different ways. Right now, not equal to 0, I'm telling. I will say here repository dot delete all by ID in batch. I will pass all the IDs. It will delete and I will return one string records deleted for given IDs, given IDs. I'll say record deleted for given IDs. Else, I will just say here unable to delete records. Okay. I would like to say right now, and the last example, whatever I have discussed, guys, whatever business logic I had developed there, it was like all the IDs, if all of them are present in the records, then it will delete. If one example, 4 IDs I'm passing here. Out of 4, if 3 IDs are present and 1 ID is not present, based on the logic which we have developed in our previous application, it used to not delete anything. If all of them are present, only it used to go to delete. But based on whatever logic I have developed here, tell me guys, if you are passing 5 IDs here, out of 5, maybe 2 are present, 3 are not present in the records. Will it delete the records based on the logic which I have developed right now? Will it delete the records? People, those who are telling no, please observe once again. I have told list size not equal to 0. That means even if one record is also available, will it go for the deletion? Yes. I hope all of you are able to understand the difference. More than this, I want you to observe this. I'll go back here and invoke this method. Let me go back. And of course, you all know the records which are there. All right. Let me just check once again. What are the IDs we have there? Guys, 52, 53, 54, 102, 102. Okay, we have these many. All right. I'll go back and create one collection first of all. I'll create one collection. I will say iterable or integer type of, I'll say IDs equals to new array list. New array list. As list also I can use, but anyway, dot add. I will add the integer value as 152, 153, and 154. I will pass it 153. Okay. Let me pass this too, and I will pass here 150. I'll pass 154. I'll pass. Just tell me, guys, out of 3 IDs which I'm passing, how many IDs are already actually there in the database? Only 2. Dot I will say. Dot I will say. I will say remove vaccine by IDs. I'll pass this IDs. It is giving you a string type of result. I will collect it here. What is the actual status? I will collect it. String type of status is the name I have given. I will say system.out.println status. I would like to print this right now. I'll go back here and run as application. Let me run it. Guys, records deleted for given ID, that's fine. How many delete queries created, guys? I want you to observe here. How many delete queries created or generated by Hibernate? How many? How many records totally you have deleted, guys? How many records totally you have deleted? Multiple. Can I say multiple? 3 have passed, 2 got deleted because 1 was not there. Multiple. But how many queries? 1 query. I'll go back to the previous application which we have developed. I'll go back here. All right. I would like to invoke this method. I'll give the IDs which we have here. Maybe 150 or 152, I guess. All right. Before I even invoke this, I would like to check what all right now available in our records. Right click, run as. All right. Because to delete, I need some records, right? Okay. We have these many. Okay. We do have 152 also, and 52 also will pass here. I'll pass 52 also. All right. I'll go back and uncomment this. I will just uncomment this entire methods. I'll comment this searching part. Okay, I'll save this. That's fine. All right, guys. And I'll go back and check the logic which I have written for this. I want to see what is the logic, if I have to pass all the IDs correctly or not. Yeah. If greater than 0, I have told guys, different way. I see here, the logic which I have written here, same. It's the same purpose, whatever I have done right now, but in a different ways. Right? Now, if it is greater than 0, I have told, even one record is also, it will delete. Okay, no problem. Guys, right now also I'm deleting multiple records. Are you able to see this? Yep. But this time I'm using which repository? In our previous application, it is CRUD repository. I'll go back, right click, run as Java Spring Boot application. Vaccines deleted. Guys, how many delete queries? How many records deleted? 2 records. For 2 records, how many delete queries? 2. For 3 records, 3. 5 records, 5. 10 records, 10. But in case of JPA repository, all delete all in batch. Are you all able to observe? In case of JPA, delete all in batch. That means how many, guys? Only one query, doesn't matter how many records you're deleting. Are you all able to understand the difference here? Yes, no, maybe. So all, not just this, even if I have to show here, repo.delete, they are coming from the CRUD. Only there are 3 methods coming from the JPA. One is deprecated, leave about this. Delete all in batch, it will delete every record. But in batch, delete based on the IDs. You can pass number of vaccine objects and delete. If I say delete all in batch, it will delete everything. All the records will be deleted. Everything will be deleted from the database. But it is in batch, one query for everything. Is that also you are able to understand, dear friends, all of you? Yeah. Delete all in batch, you all know what will happen. It will delete every record from the table. There is no point of me writing that. Do you want me to write that one more method, guys? Just to show you delete all in batch without passing the IDs. Is there a need of discussing? Do you want me to write that? Anything extra there, guys? It will just delete every record. And you know that. It's very straightforward. Let's discuss which is difficult to understand straightforward. Okay. Hence the batch is fast. Guys, I want you to answer me this if you have understood. Based on whatever searching operation we have done it. Whatever searching operation we have done it. First of all, the first question is, you can search, you can fetch, you can retrieve all the records. No problem. You can, well, fetching all the records, you can apply sorting and pagination. Okay, that also we have seen. We can perform the searching by passing multiple IDs. Great. By passing one ID. Great. By passing entire vaccine object, we can perform searching. Great. But can we perform searching operation other than the ID by passing any object other than ID? Multiple ID, single ID. Maybe I want to perform the searching based on the vaccine name, based on the vaccine country, based on the price range. By using the predefined methods of JPA, CRUD, and the paging and sorting interface, can we customize the searching operation by using the predefined methods? Do we have any such method wherein we can give the price range, wherein we can give the maybe all the vaccines coming from this country, all the vaccines coming from this company name, all the vaccines coming maybe within this price range? Can you perform that? Answer is no. Very straightforward. That's where, not just that, one more point. Whenever you're performing the searching so far, you are getting entire record. Are you able to get only 1 or 2 records? Were you able to get that? Do you think you are getting entire records, guys? Entire records in the sense all the columns of the record I'm referring. Are you able to fetch only vaccine name? You don't want everything. Maybe there are 10 columns and you want only one column to be retrieved. Are you able to do that? Do you think you are getting all the columns of your record? If there are 20 columns, 20 columns also you are getting it. So if you want specific columns to be retrieved only, then there is something called as static projections and dynamic projections. And that is what I'm going to discuss. In the process, custom finder methods. Tomorrow also I'll discuss that. If tomorrow time permits, I may start the journey of MongoDB, and day after tomorrow, I might complete that. And guys, this week itself, Thursday or Friday, I'm going to start with Spring Web MVC. And the very first class of Spring Web MVC, if you have attended, only then the rest of all the classes you can understand. RESTful services. See, if you know that, if you say someone that I know Spring Boot, after Spring Core, the most important module you must know is RESTful services. How to create REST APIs, how to work with REST APIs. If you say I know Spring Boot, apart from Spring Core, the most important thing as a developer you must know is RESTful services. And to understand RESTful services, Spring Web MVC is very, very crucial. And the very first class of Spring Web MVC is what you need to understand. The first class of Spring Web MVC, if you have not attended, then rest of all classes you can never understand. Okay. So the beautiful journey we are starting, and then we'll see the remaining part. But before that, I have to discuss dynamic and static projection, custom finder methods, custom query methods, and Mongo repository to connect the NoSQL MongoDB with your Spring Boot. Once these 4 things are over, this week itself, Friday or maybe on Thursday, or most probably on the Friday, we will start the journey of Spring Web MVC. Okay, the schedule has been given to you. Next week we will complete that Spring Web MVC and we will start the journey of this thing. Let me close everything of this. I'll close this. I'll go back. Take this. I will keep the skeleton same, no problem, right? Maybe tomorrow I'll change the application for the other part. But right now, whether it is a student or employee or anything, the operations are same. Doesn't matter what you have chosen. So I'll keep the skeleton same. Nothing apart from that. I'll go back here. You can see remaining part I'm deleting, guys. Only skeleton is what I'm keeping it same. The basic, because there is no point of creating the same project again and again. See here, our entity is going to be same. Our repository is going to be same. Our service layer, operations which I want to perform might differ. I will delete this. I'll go back here. Operations which I want to perform might differ. The actual business logic might differ. So I would like to delete this part. Okay, I would like to delete this. That's it. The skeleton is what I have kept it same. I hope no one has any issues. All good? Every one of you present in the class? Have you seen me writing anything? Yes, no, maybe. The first part I would like to discuss is the static projection. Static projection and dynamic projection. The names are hi-fi. The concept is very simple. Whenever you want to perform searching operation and you want to retrieve specific columns of the records which are there in the table. In your table, you have data with multiple columns, right? Multiple columns means ID, vaccine name, vaccine company, cost, so and so. Multiple columns are there. And whatever searching you're performing, you're able to get entire records. But entire columns of that particular records. I want to retrieve only specific column. For that, what comes into picture, guys? Static and dynamic projection. Fine. First application is this static projection. I would like to go here to my repository part. Before repository part, I'll go and create one more package, guys. Name of the package, I'll give it as view. You need not to give the same name. I have given it as view because it is about the visibility after retrieving what you want to see. I'll go back and create one interface. Only one interface you have to create. Nothing. Implementation, nothing you have to do. I will go back and say result view. Name of the interface could be anything. I have given result view. The name of the interface, you can give your girlfriend name also. It should not be a problem. Please see very carefully, guys. I will say public. I will call some of the getters of this vaccine. That's it. Some of the getters. So we do have getters also, right? Get vaccine name. Only signature. That two signatures getter I have to pass here. Guys, I am passing here. Okay. I'll go back to my Pojo, my entity. I will say here maybe get ID, get vaccine name. Okay. I will take it from here. I'll go back and add it. Guys, as per the getter, it will give you only vaccine name. It will give you only vaccine company. Saved. Only interface, I've specified what I want. Matter close. So far, so good, every one of you? Yes, no, maybe? I'll go back to my repository. More on custom finder methods today also, tomorrow also we'll discuss. But I will start the journey here. Custom finder methods means you want to search something, you want to fetch something based on your own customization. How to write that method? Because for the entire DAO layer, repository layer, we are not going to give the implementation. Spring will give the implementation. But this time it is application specific implementation. No specification I need, for which implementation will be given by Spring DataJPA. That means I am working with vaccine. You might work with customer. Someone else might work with employee, right? So this is my own need. Please see very carefully, every one of you. I will say here how to write custom finder methods. The basic theme is you have to start with find by. It is compulsory. Find by is compulsory. Followed by property name. Property name means whatever the properties are there in your entity class, that property name. Followed by the keywords. There are multiple keywords. I will show you the list of all those keywords. Keywords. I will say here find by, it is compulsory. I have to use find by. Property name. Maybe I'll say here. Property name I have to say. Cost is a property name. Based on the costing, I want to retrieve the data. I'll go back to my repository based on the property name. Cost. Find by cost. Please see very carefully, every one of you. And then keyword. There are multiple keywords available. I will just Google and show you guys. I will say here Google. I'll say here Spring Data JPA custom finder methods is what I have searched. And please see guys, I have got you in front of this. I'll go back here. So many of them are there. Okay, some of the images I'll randomly show. Okay, let me just open some Stack Overflow data is there. Guys, are you able to see here keywords? And, or, between, less than, greater than, after, before, is null, like, not like. All of these keywords can be used. I'll go back in my application, or you can just directly go here also. If you don't want to go to this images and all, official. All the keywords will get it. Are you able to see all the keywords here? Keywords, keywords, keywords. Any keyword if you want, you can use. And examples also they have shown. See here. Find by first name, last name, equals. I will discuss more on this. I'll go back to my application which we are developing right now. And I want you to observe this. Find by is compulsory, guys. Property name is cost. I want to find such a vaccines whose cost is less than is the property name. Find by property name and keyword is less than. And I will accept the price. I'll accept the price. I will say here integer, or what is that price data type? I think it is double type of cost. Double type of cost. The return type I will specify. I want the return type to be list. List of what? List of, please see very carefully. I will say here result view. Interface name. Inside this vaccine name, vaccine company I have specified. Vaccine name and vaccine company. So right now, while retrieving the data, will you get all the columns of the records or will you get only 2 columns of the records? My dear friends, will you get all columns of the records or only 2 columns? Only 2 columns. Now guys, this is your requirement. Are you going to give the implementation for this? Are you going to give the implementation for this? That means my application specific customization also Spring is giving the implementation. Are you now understanding the real power of Spring Data JPA? Guys, in my application, cost is there. In your application, age might be there. ID might be there. Marks might be there. Grades might be there. It is different for different application. This is my requirement. I want to search the vaccines which are less than some cost, For that also, I'm getting this. Everyone. I'll go back to my own specifications. Yeah. I'll go back here and what I want is I'll very simplified. I'll say here public list of course, result view. I've given the interface name here also. For this also, I have not given any implementation. I have specified my requirement. In the interfaces, I have discussed the real use of interfaces is to specify your requirement, what needs to be done. And I hope I'm standing by my words. Yeah. Fetch by cost. Whatever, this is your own custom methods. In your business logic, this is, you can give any name of your own choice. I will say here cost. I will save this. And for this, I may have to just give the implementation. Let me give the implementation and all of you know what to do. I'll just go back here and I will say return repository dot find. Guys, find by cost less than. Is it a predefined method or your method for which Spring will give the implementation? It's my method, not the predefined. And the return type also I have specified. Are you understanding, guys? For this, did I give the body? Did I give the implementation? No, I have not given that. I hope all of you are able to realize that. Did I give the implementation, guys? I have not given that. Yes, no, maybe. Everyone? I'll go back. And I don't know what cost vaccines are there. Again, I will go and check my one more application. I will run it. All right. I have to. Yeah. All right. All right. Of course, deletion part, I may have to comment this part. I'm not sure what vaccines we have in our records because we have deleted many times. Okay. Okay. Do we have, what is the search operation? Search all vaccine informations. Okay. Right click or run as vaccines. How many vaccines are there? I don't know. So I'm running my application to know. So we have 3 vaccines with these costings. Okay. I'll give any costing which are less than that, which should be less than that. Okay. Okay. I'll go back, guys. And I would like to close this part. I'll open my actual main method of this application. And I'll go back here and say service dot fetch. I'll see the cost which is less than this. Okay. Which is less than this. This is the cost I want. Okay. Which is less than this. I will collect that here. I will collect that here. Response or whatever you want, you can give result. Or directly, since it is a collection, can I apply for it, guys? Because at the end of the day, we are only printing. But we will see in the RESTful services that how to receive that, convert to JSON, and how to send back the JSON data to our client. That's a very interesting part. I'm eager to start the RESTful services, and the remaining concept I want to teach in the umbrella of REST APIs. Okay. I will say here V. I want you to observe every one of you in the class. All of you present in the class, I want you to observe this. Guys, I will say V dot get. In the get, are we getting get vaccine by ID and cost and all? Am I not getting only two things which I have specified in the result view? So are you getting all the columns of the records or only two columns of the record? Are you getting all the columns or only two columns? Only two columns. This is static projection. Dynamic means right now it is fixed that only two columns. Dynamic means sometimes I want two columns, sometimes I want one column, sometimes I want four columns, sometimes I want all columns. That is dynamic. This is static, it is fixed two columns because you have specified. I'll go back and run this application. Guys, see here only two columns we are getting, and there are two vaccines available with the cost less than this in our records, and we are getting this. Fine. All of you. Now let's go for the static projection, wherein sometimes I want two columns of the records which are there. Sometimes I want only one column. Sometimes I want three columns. Sometimes I want all the columns. If you want that type of dynamic requirement, in that case, we have the concept of dynamic projections. That is what I want to discuss. And apart from this, one video of logging, it is uploaded in the Telesco YouTube channel. Logging talks about this. What is this? All of this, if you want to understand, it is available, which I have recorded. It is available in the Telesco YouTube channel. Please go and watch that video. Logging with log4j. Entire some 2 hours video might be there. More than 1 hour. It may not be 2 hours. Around 1 hour or plus. Kindly watch that video because logging and log4j is very, very important for your interview also. And as a Spring Boot developer, you must know it. Can you do me that favor, guys? It is my own video, not some here and there. Yeah. So in your free time, please do complete that videos. Watch it. Not it is there in Telesco YouTube channel. Okay, Telesco YouTube channel. Watch it in your free time. You can watch it in 1.5x speed. Easily, you can watch all my pre-recorded videos in 1.5x speed without any problem. You will be in a position to understand. Okay. All right. I'll go back and recreate this application, but with multiple open options. Great. I'll take this. I'll go back here. All right. I'll copy this. I will just recreate it. Spring DataJPA project number 6. Custom finders and custom query tomorrow, guys. A very important discussion again. A very, very important discussion. One of the most important discussion in DataJPA is going to happen in tomorrow's class. One of the most important discussion. And then we shall see what to be done. Okay. I'll start here, guys. Remaining things is going to remain same here also. With one change, I will delete this result view. Or maybe let it be there. Okay, let me delete it. I will create one interface here called as view. Go and create one interface called as view. One generic interface. I'm just making the things dynamic here. Nothing more than that. All of you just know maybe. And after which I'm just going to say a right click, new interface. I will say result view 1. Result view 1. And I'm going to add the view interface from my own family. Okay, add it. Okay. I'll go back here, right click. I will create one more interface. I'll give it as result view 3 or 2. Let me see how many of you really understood the core Java part. Polymorphism concept. I will say here, maybe result view 3. I hope everyone in the class knows the concept of polymorphism. Are you guys? Honestly, tell me one thing. If someone don't know polymorphism in inheritance interfaces concept, can they understand the Spring framework by any chance? Runtime polymorphism, if they don't have clarity, we will discuss that also. What is that? Who is asking the question? Saurabh. Okay. Till that time, please watch the Hibernate multiple tables I have discussed already, because Hibernate and DataJPA is same. Because DataJPA is also using Hibernate behind the scene, right? So whatever I've discussed that in the Hibernate is going to remain same. But however, at the end, again, I will discuss it. But for now, you can watch that videos. It's no way. And as an interviewer, if you are taking the interview of a fresher or 1 year or 2 year or 3 year of experienced developer for the Spring Boot, don't you think you will ask first questions on the core Java OOPS concept about polymorphism, inheritance? If someone is not answering those questions, according to you, if you are the lead of your team, can you recruit them in your team and give them a chance? Now realize, guys, even though in the industry you are going to use the Spring framework to develop the application, why they ask questions and the OOPS concept? Have you understood how important they are? I hope you could able to understand that. Yeah. Now, guys, I'll specify my requirement here. I'll go back to my this thing. I'll go back and I'll call the getters. I'll specify my requirement in my result view number 1. That this is my requirement here. Sorry, I'll go back here and maybe I will say this part. I'll say this part. So result view 1. Result view 1. If I say it is vaccine name and vaccine company, those columns will be recruited. Result view 2. That means you are making it more dynamic. I'll go back here. I'll keep all of them as it is. I'll keep all of them in the result view 2. Okay. Plus extra. I'll go back to my vaccine. I'll call one more getter about the cost. Result view 2. 3 columns. Yes, no. Fine, every one of you. Result view 3. I'll go to my and maybe I'll get this. I'll go back. Result view 3. And maybe costing also will get it, or maybe vaccine name or something. Okay. Guys, 3 interfaces I have created. For 3 interfaces, who is the parent? Who is the parent? You. If it is result view 1, choose dynamically. Then you can get 2 columns. If it is result view 2, 3 columns. If it is 3, 2 columns again. Different columns. Now, can you fetch specific columns of your application? Yes, no, maybe. Everyone. I hope now you know the concept of, I hope you all know the concept of what? The generics. If not, the videos are available in your core Java classes. Please go and watch that. Generics concepts. It is available. Okay. We have discussed that. Now I will not give result view. I will not give result view. I will say here any type which is a child of view. Any type which is a child of view. Are you understanding this? Yes, no, maybe. Now I'll specify my requirement list. I will say that list, let it be of T, any type. Guys, it is upper bound. View or all the childs of view. Yes or no? Lower bound, upper bound I had discussed. If all of you could able to recall. And I will use here class dynamically to pass it. I will say T. I can pass any of the interface name. That's the reason I will say class. T means any type. Any type means result view 1, 2, 3, whatever you want, you can specify your own requirement, custom requirement. Fine. Now I'll take up this method. Entire method I will take up. I'll go back to my I service and I will add it. Since it is my method, other than this, I will give the name as fetch. Let me go back to my, okay, let me go back here. I will remove this part. I'll go back to my vaccine service. Whatever implementation we already have it, I'll remove this implementation. I will add the unimplemented method. If there are unused imports, I'm going to delete this. All right. It means anything. Class of type T means anything. Any type, Deepti. Please watch my generic videos. How I have created the custom generics also. You will get to know about it. That means any type. Maybe you'll understand now by implementation. After the class in your free time, you can watch it. But now also you can understand directly, even if you have not yet watched. I will say return. I will say repository dot. Guys, find by cost less than this. Okay, I'm passing the cost. I'm returning it. But what I'm going to pass in my from the main method class directly, I'm going to pass that. From my main method class directly. I'll go back to my main method. And of course, this time this is not the case. I will remove this part. Guys, see very carefully. Every one of you. I will say here service dot fetch. Cost I will give. Maybe the cost which I'll give is this. Okay, I'll give the cost. Now here I will decide dynamically whether I want 2 columns, 3 columns, what I want. If I want vaccine name and vaccine company, which one should I use, guys? I will say here result view 1 dot class. Are you getting it, everyone? If I want maybe vaccine name, vaccine cost, vaccine company, result view 2 I will choose. I want vaccine ID and vaccine name. Then result view 3 I will choose. Are you all there with me, guys? Everyone in the class? Yes, no, maybe? I will say a dot. Let me first import everything. I will now say here dot for each, and that for each I will implement here. I will say V, and I will accept that lambda expressions, guys. And now, guys, if I say result view 1 means if I say V dot getters, if I call, how many getters am I getting, guys? How many getters am I getting? Vaccine company and vaccine name. I'll go back and make it result view 2. If I make result view 2, if I say V dot, how many getters are we getting? 3 getters. Are you able to observe, guys, the difference here? All of you present in the class, yes, no, maybe? Dynamic projection, static projection. That means you are choosing how many columns you want dynamically. In the last application, predefined, you have given only one result view. Fix 2 columns. But right now, you can decide dynamically at the time of invoking the method. Whether you want 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, which are the columns you want it. You can dynamically decide it. Any ambiguity here? V dot get. See, I'm getting cost also this time. Because result view 2, 3 getters are there. 3 getters I have specified, so only I could able to do that. I will set this. Let me go here, run as Java Spring Boot application and the console. Focus is the key, guys, and seriousness, because these things are very, very easy. There is nothing difficult. I have not discussed any concept which is difficult, which we have not discussed before. See, we are getting 2 vaccines, but 3 columns we are getting. Name, company name, cost. Name, company name, cost. If more than 30, 40 columns are there, and then how do we handle this? If you know one specific column, then you can, without, if guys, okay, Suresh, tell me one thing. If you don't use dynamic and static projection, will you get all 30, 40 columns? Normally, yes. If you want specific columns, you decide how many columns you want. Same way you have to create multiple interfaces or how much ever interfaces you want based on your need of the application. Whether you want 5 columns, 10 columns, 20 columns, 7 columns, create that many interfaces, finish. Yeah, there is no other way out apart from this. It is the same. So guys, have you got the fundamental of custom finder methods? Have you got the fundamentals of custom finder methods? The same way you have to mention. No difference. Like the way I have done here. Because it is dynamic projection, right? And custom query, I mean, in sense, how to get the data based only for specific columns for which the dynamic and the static projection comes into picture, which we have seen in this application. Now there are two more things in the DataJPA, which is custom finder methods. Little more on custom finder methods because only basic I have told. I have to discuss more on this because it is very important. Custom finder methods and custom query methods is what we have to discuss in the tomorrow's class, which are the most important part of Spring Data JPA. So tomorrow, custom finder and custom query method is I will discuss, and maybe day after tomorrow, Spring Mongo repository I will discuss, and on Friday, either I will discuss multi-DB configuration or I will start the journey of Spring Web MVC. If I'm starting the journey of Spring Web MVC, the association part, which is multiple tables and multiple databases, I will discuss at the end after RESTful services. Fine. So that's all for today. I have to share you these 3 applications. I will share you. Allow me 2 minutes of time, then I will take up your questions. Can't we write the queries like JDBC to select the columns? You can write it. And that is what I have been telling 3-4 times. Custom query method. Custom query means you can write query also if you want. For that also implementation Spring will give. Okay, tomorrow I will discuss on this. Yes, JPQL, which is HQL you can use. If you want, you can use native SQL query also. Saurabh, you have an option to go with JPQL or native SQL query. No problem, Suresh. No problem. You ask questions, whether they are reasonable or not, I will tell you. But you do ask. Your part is to ask. I will tell you whether I will discuss that in future or not. That's my headache. I will share up these files with you guys. Allow me 1 minute of time, then I'm open for your questions, okay? Okay, all right. All guys, that's all for today. If you have anything to discuss with me, let me know. If not, we can meet tomorrow directly. If you have anything to discuss with me, please do let me know. In real world applications in companies, do we often modify the Hibernate code also along with these custom finder methods to manipulate the data cell? How will Uday Bhanu, how we will modify the Hibernate? Like in this, Hibernate is being used by Spring Data JPA behind the scene. But if you want, you can use the Hibernate also directly. Sure. I mean, you have messaged me something on LinkedIn now, Sam. I forgot to see. Sorry. You're telling something you have resolved. Some doubts were there. I could not. Are you able to resolve that or still that is there? That's done. Okay. Okay. Was it a major issue or it was some silly mistake you were making? So maybe small. Huh. Okay. 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 Fine. Okay, sir. So lot to be discussed, guys. In the RESTful service journey will be very, very long. Lot many concepts I'll discuss in the process. Can custom finder methods query our every requirement, sir? Like, do we need to know other things also, sir, along with custom query methods, Uday Banu? Nothing apart from this thing. Custom finder is there, custom query. Custom finder means you can customize while performing the searching. But for non-select operations such as update, insert, and delete, how can you customize? Custom finder method is starting from what? Find by. It is only for searching. How about non-searching? You should have a freedom of writing the query, right? To specify your own requirement apart from the predefined methods. For that, we have custom query methods. Nothing apart from that. How we handle, see, behind the scene already multi-threading is implemented here. Okay. Apart from that, if you want to build the applications which are multi-threaded, WebSockets, all of that is a different topic altogether, Saurabh. But what is the need? Simply why you want to handle multiple threads. Do you know the concept of threads? Why to use threads, Saurabh? Were you part of our Core Java classes? Then the question cannot be just generic. What is the need of threading here? Like why you want to use multiple threads? Simply what type of applications you're going to build, when it is needed, when we have to create our own threads in this kind of applications. DataJPA, it's not just about that. DataJPA is just the DAO layer which we're learning. But once you understand the layered approach development, once we develop the REST APIs, and if you have a requirement of going with something which at a time have to handle the multiple requests, that too at the same given point of time, the concept of WebSockets, threading, and all will come into picture. See, multi-threading is never specific to only JP or anything. It can be implemented for any concepts. But what is the need of the application? What you are trying to achieve with that? First, that should be clear. One recipe is created like fetching and calling at the same time from two different users, application effects for commercial IRTC. So that is different. You multiple people can access already by default. Behind the scene multiple threads will be created. You will see that in our own applications going forward, Saurabh. I'll replicate the application like IRTC in our classes. There is no problem. Behind the scene multiple users can access. See, there is, for that also there is something called as web client and what do you say, REST template. There is something called as block and forward. If you go with reactive programming, if you go with non-reactive programming, we have something called as this. It is dynamically handled by default behind the scene. I will discuss that in future, but since both of you have handled, I mean, I have to say you this. See, I'll explain you the scenario. Okay. Example, we have two applications. Application number one, weather API. Assume that you are developing the application, Anil and Saurabh, both of you. Weather API is your application. Weather app is your application. Okay. One API is there which is developed by some other. It is B2B. It is just an API which is end user cannot access. End user know how to access your application. Now this API is there which is developed by someone else, which will take zip code. Zip code. Based on the zip code, it will give you the weather condition. Weather condition. This is API number one. Based on the zip code. You have to pass the zip code.
but the end user is entering the city name, for which you have one more API whose duty is to take the city name, will give you the zip code. Understanding? Now suppose multiple users are coming here and this API is not responding. So in your code, you are making call to this API also, this API also. In this case, tell me one thing. If there is API, there is no response from this API. Should my thread wait or should my thread go ahead and discuss, continue with this API? If there is no response from here. Should my thread gets blocked or should my thread should continue the calling of other API? What should be the behavior of my thread here? Assume, Anil, there is no response coming from this API. And this API wants zip code to give you the weather condition. And this API is giving the zip code. You have to pass city name to this API. It will give you zip code. And that zip code you have to pass here. But there is no zip code coming from this API. How should my behavior of my threads behind the scene? How my threads should behave? So all this in our future classes, we are going to understand in the RESTful services, microservices. In the microservices also, there is a concept called as load balancing, which you have to implement at the API gateway level. That means if n number of users are coming, how that has to be redirected to the different request. The concept of load balancing. If at a time 1 lakh request comes, how the server size should increase. All this we have to discuss. Right? Are you getting it? So you will by default understand load balancing concept. If at a time, sometime maybe, see, in the microservices, I will discuss this concept in the RESTful services and the microservices. But since you have asked, I have just tried to give you a quick overview about it. That's it. Zoom or what you call Hotstar or maybe JioCinema or something, if they're going for live streams, they're expecting 10 crores, 10 crore people at a time to attend. That was the expectation. Can one server handle 10 crore requests at a time? Saurabh, answer this. 10 crores requests are coming here. Can my application handle that at a time? The concept of load balancing comes into picture. Behind the scene, multiple threads will be invoked in the API gateway, and all the loads will be redirected to the different services, different servers. And how this will implement, what is the round robin technique which will be used behind the scene, everything I will explain you going forward. Okay. Fine. And what is that one more thing you have asked by Saurabh? Okay. Raise your hand, Saurabh. Raise your hand. You can talk now. You can talk.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you completely.
Okay. Good morning. Actually, my question is like here you just shown me some example. Na? So suppose in first API calling, it means both the API is dependent with each other.
Correct.
Suppose what I'm just trying to say in first API calling, if I don't get a response for the zip port, that I need to pass in the second API.
Correct.
So that is both is like sync or it's like async. How that concept?
There are two things: synchronized communication and unsynchronous communication.
Mm-hmm.
This will be synchronized. You have to wait. Some certain threads have to wait before getting the response. I will discuss this. There are two things you can use: the concept of web client and REST template. And this is the answer for in the interview question. When we may have to go with the web client, when we may have to go with the REST template, when we may have to go with the Fing client.
Okay.
How to communicate one API to the another API in the RESTful services, I will discuss.
Okay, okay, exactly. That was my question, because I was just thinking how it's because if it is not like dependent with each other like
Then it is
synchronous.
no problem. Example, we have one application, employee management application. One API is giving you response about the salary details of an employee. One more API is responsible to give the personal information about the employee. And if you're making call to this API and this API, by chance, if there is a delay in getting the salary information, will
Yeah.
there be any problem at same time if I get the personal information about the employee?
No, no, no. It won't independent with each other, so it won't be
It's
issue.
not, it's
Mhm.
doesn't matter. No, you need not to manage any of the threads there. Threads
Exactly.
need not to wait for the response from the APIs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain both the scenario practically
Aha. Okay, okay.
because
Thanks.
these
Thanks.
are very important. These are the scenarios which
Yeah.
they'll give you in the interviews.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And there's a concept of load balancing also you need to understand. If there are thousands of or crores of requests at a time coming to your application, how you will manage,
Okay.
what happens behind the scene, all of this also will be asked in the interviews.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So these things we have to discuss and they are very important. That is the reason quickly I'm covering these fundamentals so that the remaining parts are also there which I can discuss now also before REST APIs. But I
Yeah.
want to do that under the umbrella of RESTful services and microservices.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
remaining
Yeah.
all the associated small concepts.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
And that is the reason, guys, I have told you. If you say that I know Spring framework, you must know about RESTful services because many things are there under that. All right, guys. I see no more questions. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. It was again good interaction from all of you. Tomorrow, the topic is very clear: custom finder methods and custom query methods. Okay. Uday Bhanu, are you part of our previous batch also, or it's a new Uday Bhanu here? Oh, you are part of 8 days batch. Okay, great. Thank you for trusting again after completing the entire course to be there with us again one more time. Thank you for your trust. Okay. All right. Could not resolve the attribute vaccine. There are some issues, Osama, because the names you have not given properly. The field names are wrong. That's the reason the problem is. Field names are wrong. Check your entity and don't give camel case because find by already there. No. Give both of them in capital letters. Starting the word will be capital letters. Like this. If I have to go here, where is this repository? You can see I have given here cost. Cost inside my vaccine starting from the small letter. And the same cost I've given here starting from the capital because find by is already there. So this name is wrong. That is the reason you're getting that. The property name is wrong. No problem. Tomorrow I'll discuss more on the custom finder methods. You'll get to know how to write it. Okay. Oh, yesterday's pagination. Attributes wrong means there is a mismatch between the property names. There's a mismatch between the names. That's the reason you're getting that. Yes. Maybe somewhere there is a difference. You just cross check. If not, tomorrow we will discuss. If not, Saturday I'll send you separate link wherein you can attend the doubt session and ask me the question. Okay. By sharing the screen. All right, guys. Thank you again. Just don't copy paste exactly. Maybe in your table, the column name is different. That could be one more possibility. Is there a planning for the next weekend batch? Yes, there is a it's already launched, no, but it is a fast track, Saurabh. The next weekend Spring Boot batch is launched from 16th of November. Next to next weekend. And this weekend we have Java refresher session. Next weekend Fast track Spring Boot batch is launched. Morning 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for 8 days, 4 weekends. 4 Saturdays and Sundays, total 8 days, only on Saturday, Sunday. Indian time morning 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. There might be issue with the column names. Attribute is about that only. Okay, I will share. This is the link of this course. Guys, you can share to your friends and colleagues who want to attend the fast track batch. 1 month I will complete entire Spring framework within 1 month only. 1 month the game over. Only weekend, Saturday, Sundays. This is the 8 days, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. Four weekends. Morning 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Full day batch. Everything will be covered. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you again for joining me in today's class. We shall meet tomorrow again and continue the discussion on Spring Data JPA, custom finder methods, and custom query methods. Thank you again. If you just could send me that just zip file, I'll just try to see in my free time, Osama. Okay. Thank you again, guys, every one of you. You can just email me a zip file of the project. Thank you, guys. Thank you all.